Seems like you've become one of the more popular athletes in this city just in the last year. Um, how have you just balanced some of just the newfound fame, attention that you've been getting over since last season started, with staying ready, continuing to lock in, and having a big sophomore season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think um, whether I've become more popular in the city or whatever, I don't think that's changed who I am as a person. I'm still, continuing to work and, to try and be the best I can be at my job. And there's a lot of things I can get better at, coming off of last season, that I can, be ready for this season. And those are the things that I've been working on this off season. Just becoming stronger, faster, being more comfortable out on the field and working my techniques. So I don't think it's changed me as a person at all.
Cooper, Vic last year was saying how different nickel and corner are, and Hugh tried to play both at training camp. Can you play both, and what goes into preparing to play both?
Yeah, they're a little different. I did it a little bit in college, played both. But they're different. And on the inside, you got to prepare more to fit the run and be able to cover and do all those things. At corner, it's more worrying about covering a top guy, top receiver, with a lot of space. But I did a little bit in college. So I've been doing it a little bit early on here in OTAs. So I think just doing wherever they need me to be, is what I'll do. Right now I've been trying outside and inside, but it's definitely a tall task. Yeah, no doubt.
What was Vic's message to you about the plan?
Just saying that they were going to try me a little bit at outside when we were in base. Nothing really too crazy. That's really all he said. That I would get some reps outside during OTA, see how it looked.
Are there any specific challenges
as you think about your career long term, you want that chance to play on the outside?
I mean, I'll play wherever, to be honest. Wherever they put me on the football field, I'll play there. As long as I'm out there, I'll be ready to play no matter the position, whether it's corner, nickel, or safety.
Are there any specific challenges when you go snap to snap playing the two positions?
You talking about like just moving, like each snap moving in and out?
Exactly.
Yeah, a little bit. I think, outside it's a little different mentality than playing inside. Understanding leverage and things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But I'm still learning. It's early on. So we'll see what happens.
You say you're still the same person, but after the Super Bowl, how has your life changed around you?
It's been a little different. Just walking around. I try to hide as much as I can, but it's harder. It gets harder and harder. But it's still not going to change who I am as a person. Just, be myself. Treat people the same way. So I haven't changed, but things around me have changed a little bit. But I'm still the same person.
So to follow up on your answer about you'll play wherever, if you wind up being a nickel, predominantly nickel for your entire career, there's not part of you that inside world wanted to play outside full time?
I mean, if I'm on the football field, that's really all that matters. I love playing football. And if that's where I fit in the defense that I'm in best, and that's where I can make the best impact for our defense, and then that's where I'll be. It's really up to the coaches and where they see my best fit within our defense, and if that's inside, then I'll be fine with that.
So guys who have won a championship here say there's no better city to win a championship than Philadelphia. You've been out and about doing charity work. Your football camps here. Have a podcast now, so you've been out with the people. What is it like being a champion in this city?
Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody in the city loves Eagles football, and you can tell that, especially after you win a championship. But going into next season, they're gonna expect that same thing again. So you you got to find a way to push that behind you and get back to work and, you know, try and do it all over again the next season. Because once that next season comes around and that first game hits, you know, then I don't think anybody's really going to be remembering, you know, what we did last season, that Super Bowl. There's going to be new critics, you know, for this next season after that first game. So you gotta prepare for that next season and put last season behind you.
As
So early in the
as
process,
far as positions as far as positions, there are the business sense to this, and the threshold for cornerbacks is much higher than nickel. How do you view that in terms of your future in the league?
I mean, I haven't really thought that far down the line, really. You know, I've just been trying to focus on, you know, getting better at the positions that they've put me in here. You know, starting with the nickel position, obviously where I predominantly played last year. Just trying to grow in that position and you know, continue to understand, you know, how that position works and be the best I can be there. You know, and now getting to play a little bit outside, trying to learn that position as well. You know, but as far as down the line goes, I haven't really thought a whole lot about that. You know, it's just been, you know, how I can, you know, impact this defense right now.
Do you sense that?
Last two.
Regarding the Leicester event that you're scheduled to appear at on Saturday, how are you approached to event? They came to my management team and asked me about it. You know, so I don't know. Well, that's how it approached me. Yeah.
Do you get a sense that with these outside reps that you are getting, that the coaches are evaluating you along with Keely and Adore as an outside corner, even in nickel?
I think they'd assess anybody who's playing out there, you know, as at that position. You know, so I'm still trying to learn that position and, you know, play nickel as well. You know, but I'm still trying to grow, and, you know, luckily I got a guy like Quinyon Mitchell who played really well last year at that position, so I can learn from him too.
All right, thanks, guys. We actually have Quinyon next.